Welcome back, friends. So the day has come. It's time to put the door hardware back on the door, because these ain't gonna put themselves back together, is they? One of the things that I'm gonna do before I get to assembling is I'm gonna get out my 7/16 chase kit, and I'm going to chase down all these threads because when I start reassembling, I don't want any issues. So most of those bolts are 7/16. I'm just going to run down anything I can on this door. I notice I've got some issues here too. This is for the door pull, and there's multiple holes in here. So we'll see what's going on with that when we get to it. But there are some threads to run down. Let's go inside and do an inventory before we get to assembling. And in this video, my goal is to do the latch and the handle and the tumbler. So we'll put the latch in here, we'll put the handle in here, and we'll put the tumbler in this video. And I've already cut and buff all the paint around all these areas so that, well, most of the, not the entire door, but most of these areas, so I can I don't have to worry about doing that later around the hardware. And I do want to thank Rat Farm channel for his excellent how to assemble a C3 door video. You should watch that before or after you watch this. All right, let's go ahead and take an inventory. We're in the laundry room. Here's some of the parts that we're going to use this morning in this video. Obviously the door latch mechanism, this is new, it's a replacement, and we're going to install that. And then you've got some screws for that. Here are the original, and here is one of the sets of replacement screws. I did notice the replacement set is a flat head, and the originals are more of a pan head. So you can decide what you want to do there. We've got the door handle, or, door handle. And this one I've partially assembled, and I have used a different type of clip on the top. Let me show you the driver's side where I used the proper clip, which is here. So that's the original clip. I only had one of those, so I used one of the other types of clips that we're going to use later on that. But you want to make sure this is all working. I put some grease in there, down in there, just lube this all up with oil and got it all ready. On the bottom of that, to hold that in, we've got these two nuts, the flange nuts. Let's see, what else do we have? The tumbler, and let me show you what's going on with the tumbler. So this is a replacement tumbler, and I did get, with this kit, I got this lever and the clip. Let me show you the original. The passenger side and the driver's side, these are the originals. You notice they're slightly different colors. These are unique to the side, so you have to get it right. What I like about the new kit is that it's very obvious which is left and right. So this is left, driver's side, this is right, passenger side. So I didn't have to take any of this old stuff off because I'm replacing it, but there is a clip there that you'd want to use if you don't get it. And you can reuse this lever too. But I decided to go with new tumblers and keys and everything, just because it's a 50-year-old car. I don't even think my doorknobs on my house last 50 years, so probably a good idea to replace those. Have new keys, nice and sharp. Here are some clips that we're going to use later to attach these items. That's about it for now. Besides, let's see, here's the clip to hold the tumbler against the inside of the door, and then there's the tumbler little gasket. There's also the handle gaskets, which go underneath here. So want to make sure you have all these parts. I had to buy, not this one, but I had to buy a set of these these guards. They're like kind of like water guards that cover the latch mechanism. You'll see that in a minute. I only had the passenger side, but I could only find a set of these available on eBay that had the driver's side. FYI, if you're thinking about doing this job and you don't have one of these plastic guards and you want to have it, you don't have to, but it's a good idea. I would get it before they're gone, because there was only one of these sets on eBay at this time, and this is 2024 August. FYI, the screws that go in here are 1032 thread, so fine thread, and I just purchased new ones at the hardware store. I also purchased a set of screws and things that are similar to the sizes of the original. I don't want any problem with old rusty screws, so I just got a bunch of replacement screws. And that's it for now. So let's go out and start putting this on the car. For the lock phase of this job, we're going to use the handle. And notice that the connecting rod that goes down to the latch mechanism from the handle, goes like this. And the rod goes in on the front side of the car. All right, the front side, and then you've got this adjustable piece it's going to hang down. So this just goes down in there, goes through those holes. I went ahead and buffed all around the edge. You see my gasket is on there. So it's pretty simple. You're just going to drop this down. Gotta turn it a little, I guess. And work it down in there. Is it going to go? Are you going? Hope I have the right side. Yeah, it should be the right side. So I'm going to get off the phone here for a second and see if I can work the mechanism. Looks like the spring mechanism. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you just got to drop it in the right way. So first piece of the door is in place, you guys. And then you see there, we're going to put our 7/16 nuts on there. Be right back. First piece on, you guys. Nice. All right. Next, we're going to put the latch mechanism in. And the latch mechanism has 3 screws, which I, incidentally, just buffed out. I decided to use the originals because I like the look and shape a little bit better. The ones that came with this were, I don't think, as high quality steel. So these are going to look just fine. Those are going to go, you see there's 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. I'm sorry, two on the bottom, like I just said, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. So you could see how it goes in. It's going to go just like that. 1, 2, 3. And then that rod that we just looked at is going to go through. Can I point? I can't get it. Can't get on there with one hand. The little rod's going to go through right there. All right, so we'll feed this in through some part of the door and screw this sucker in place. There we go. So what I did, and what I like to do, is put a little grease under here in there, in the threads back here. You can see it's, I put a little dielectric grease so it doesn't disturb the paint, but you know, anything that's exposed to the weather like this stuff, I know it's not necessary, but I just feel better putting a little layer of water protection in there. So that's in, and then you see there, we're gonna put that, once we adjust it, you can spin this around, right? And you can screw it on, move this up whichever way you need to, and that's going down, so you can move this up until it lines up with that latch hole on the outside. So I got a little ways to go. I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, so that's the position of the little arm adjustable pin. And what you want to do, you guys, is test it so you can see, can I do this with one hand? Simulate the door closing. So you're gonna close, you're gonna latch it, right? And then make sure that when you push the handle on the top, that moves enough. And I had to preload this a little. Make sure it moves enough to open. Otherwise, you're not opening your door. All right, let's move on, put in the tumbler. Also, we're gonna put that clip on before we get too far down the road. Next, we're gonna put in the tumbler with the lever attached. Note that this little arm will go over that lever. And of course, you wanna put your little rubber grommet on there. And let me show you guys something. Just in case you're wondering which side or which orientation this goes, the bottom of the tumbler is open, right? And that's probably to let water out, any moisture that might get in there, so release it. So it's gonna go this way inside the door, right? And make sure you put your rubber gasket on there. All right, so that just feeds in from the outside. You might need to grab it with both hands inside and out just to get the orientation correct. And here's what that looks like. And now we're gonna put the clips in. I got one clip to go down there and then the retainer on the back of the tumbler. I'm midway putting the clip on, so I just wanna show you the orientation. I might actually go grab the old clip though, because this thing is super tight. So either struggle with the new one with a lot of pressure, or maybe just use the old one or flatten the new one out a little bit before you try to get it to sit in place. But I'm gonna keep pushing that in, and then we'll put it in the lower clip. I wanna show you guys the difference between the old clip and the new clip. And also, the old clip was pretty flat, and I just whacked the new one with a dead blow to smash it out. But don't struggle too much with these clips. Once the clip's in there, you know, that tumbler's not going anywhere. It's probably not going anywhere even without the clip. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the old clip, you know, because I know it works and it fits. So this is going in. Also, on my car, and I don't know about your car, but if you look in there, you can see that little square, how that's squared off, and you see the clip is gonna go in the top and bottom. So, be right back. I made some progress with the clip, but man, that is tight. I'm probably gonna have to, and I can, reach in from here and reach my arm up there and push it, but I'm actually gonna use like something like a piece of wood or something so I can really push hard on that clip. It'll go in, but first let's check the functionality. So I have the door locked or latched down here. We're gonna put the key in, it should go in this way, and we're going to check it. So that's locked, unlocked, locked. So when we lock it and we press the handle in, well, I just contradicted myself. I guess that was unlocked. All right, so when we press the handle in, that opens. And then if we go the other way, I guess forward is locked. Usually on my other car, when you go towards the front of the car, that's unlocking, but because it's like, let's go. But on this car, I guess that's lock. And then when you press this handle, if this is in, let me see. It's hard to do with your finger. If that's in that position and then it's locked and you press the handle, nothing happens. And so let's just review that. And we're gonna unlock it right? I'm not gonna let this dangle because, you know, paint. And now when we press the handle, we're good. All right, so the last thing to do after I scooch that clip in a little more is to put the bottom clip on. Let me show you what that clip looks like. Looks like that. There's a little tang right there, and that's gonna go in the hole, the second hole. And then on the other side, you see right down in there, there's that's where the clip goes. Right in there. Right? Be right back. All right, so that's how I put the clip on. I think that's right. I'm actually not sure. It's not coming out. And then I jam that, you see that clip up there. And what I had to do for that one, it was not easy, you guys. I had to push. I grabbed this pair of pliers, and I ended up kind of reaching up from this hole, reaching all the way up there, and basically hammering that thing. You can see I scratched the paint on the inside. I was hammering on that thing. You do need to get it lined up. So that's, you know, you see how it's kind of squared in there. That's what I did. And then I put a little bit of grease in there because I'm just fanatical about that. Put a little bit of grease on that. The last thing we're gonna do in this video is install this protector guard, water guard, I guess. You can see there's two holes right here in the corner, and we're just gonna put these screws in. I guess they don't get washers, but I might just put a washer. I don't know. Well, I guess you're not gonna see this one because it's gonna be covered. I don't know about that one. Anyway, I guess they don't have washers, so I'm just gonna feed this up in there, probably from down there, and screw this in. And note, there is some padding on this. On the driver's side, the one I got didn't come with padding, so I just used some weather stripping. But make sure you have a little bit of padding on that. And I chased all the threads down as well. So like a lot of things, you got to finagle a little bit. So what I did is I just started with this one, and then I really had to push this into the corner over there to get the second one. But you can see there, that's the protection that this thing offers. It might also be, and some people have said that this might be the case, it might be so it can't fish down and you know, open the door in that old style of fishing down in there and grabbing on one of these things. But I guess it has a dual purpose. So it could be for water. It could also be as an anti-theft shield. Anyway, I'm gonna tighten these up and we'll review. Okay, friends. So we just installed 4 main elements. We started with the handle, and that was the 2 bolts, 7/16. Then we put in the latch mechanism, and that was these 3 screws, which I rehabbed, and I'm super happy with. Look at that. Better than new. Then we put in the tumbler, and that is going in from the outside. Make sure you have it oriented properly, and that goes in there. And then we checked everything, and we put in the shield. So that concludes this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. This is part 1, and in part 2, we're gonna move on and start assembling more of the inner door. And eventually we'll have a working door, but we're a little ways away. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.